Well, good day, everybody. All right, so today's message is going to come to you with a trigger warning. So be prepared. Also, the number 444 and 4444 and the number 711. Okay, so there's another flying monkey, Katrina. She is just now realizing who she has been working with and for to help bring down my family, giving bad advice. This person, good morning. How are you, Gianni? Hi, Robin Hood. Okay, so this young lady named Katrina is a friend of my daughter's, and she has been involved in ways to help my family, my cult family, bring her down and bring down her relationships and bad advice, as I mentioned. I want the FBI to know, because this is something that God is showing me to say. This young lady is sending drugs through the mail to an inmate in prison by the name of Joe. She's putting it on the paper, and then he's selling it, distributing it in the prison. I'm good, Gianni. I had mentioned and tried to warn my daughter previously of this young woman not really being a true friend. And I know that at the time that I mentioned this, Tabitha wasn't in the frame of mind to hear what I was saying. Hi, everybody. So my stepsister, Sala, is now in jail overseas. She went back to Africa. Thank you. I'll take those hugs. I love y'all that are so good to each other in the chat. Thank you. We need positivity. So Sala's in jail overseas, and she did go back to Africa. She came to the United States, had plastic surgery to make herself look more like me, drove the same kind of car, caused mass confusion over who she was, who I am, what she was doing, how she was doing it. She ended up getting pregnant by Tommy D. And she's now talking to everyone that's listening about what happened, what they did, and how they did it, because she's thinking that this is going to help herself get out of the situation. But she has taken this internationally. So the CIA was involved in helping her at one point, but they are no longer interested in being a part of this. My biological father, as I mentioned, was a CIA agent, also a Mason. Hence how this all began. There is a trust that is set up in Africa for me, and Sala knew it. And the only way that she could get her hands on that trust, on that money, was if I was unalived. Yes, please hit the like button. Thank you, Robin Hood. Sandy was actually receiving money from this trust, but none of this trust money was coming to me. It wasn't being given to me. It was being given to the family. It was being given to the practitioners to do the magic against me. It was being given to people to stalk me. It was being given to anybody and everybody that would help the cult family make my life pure hell on earth. And that's a fact. Thanks, y'all. Okay. Here's the trigger warning. The bus of missing children was the Masons. Nothing good. Nothing good. This is ritualistic. And I mentioned years ago that there are Masons who drive school buses. This is that. The bombing that happened oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hang on just a second. This isn't that, is it? Okay. I recant that. The man who drove through the crowd in New Orleans, this man was targeted. This man was targeted by the Masons. They attacked this man with vast, high vibrational frequencies that drove him to anger, desperation, depression, and hate. The fact that he was Muslim and the fact that they could use ISIS as a way to make this look like something different than what it was, just to help the Masons to help cover up the garbage that they do. ISIS is not involved. This man was alone. He was isolated, and that's what they look for. That's the kind of person that they look for. People alone, people isolated away from their families, people that are already perhaps in a state of depression in some way, small way, but they use these high frequencies, these vibrations to cause, and it does, believe me, these frequencies can cause a lot of anger, a lot of hatred, a lot of depression if you're not using these frequencies properly. And we're talking about Masons that are involved in like Navy, people who know how to use these frequencies. And this happens a lot more than you could even possibly imagine. Well, there is a judge in Georgia that self-unalived himself in his chambers. And this man is not a Mason, but he did a lot of work for them. And we are going to see a lot more of this self-unaliving business. There was a situation that was supposed to happen this morning that the Masons were going to try to involve somebody that's close to me. However, this morning when I was meditating and talking with my spirit guides and Father, Hang on, Robin Hood. Give me a second. I'll answer that. This morning when they came up with this idea, I showed them, that we already knew, they were planning to do something and that it wasn't going to be allowed to happen. So they changed their minds. They are realizing now that there is absolutely nothing that they can do that's going to change how the Masons are now being seen. If somebody is sending you these frequencies, blocking them is difficult. But I would recommend, as I've mentioned many times before, listening to high frequencies that help you with your, whatever it is. If you're anxious, if you're depressed, if you're, I don't know, overeating, whatever it is that you're feeling at that time, if you listen to that, put an earbud in or headphones and just clean, paint, whatever it is you're doing, and listen to the frequencies that are right for you. You can find a lot of these on YouTube. That's where I found most of mine, is on YouTube. And they help tremendously. They help tremendously with depression. Feelings of feeling alone and lol. My goodness. Here she goes. That's something that we need to work on, is these frequencies that are being sent out by government officials who are not doing this with the knowledge of other government officials. They're doing this in order to be able to control the narrative for the Masons. This is Masonic. This is a Masonic thing. This is how they work. You're welcome. All right. I think that's all I have for the moment. But I will be back because I'm feeling like there's a lot of things that need to be said today. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things are coming up. Finding myself surrounded by people that I didn't realize were who they are. And now things are starting to make a little more sense. I do want to talk about one thing, about how the Masons work to confuse. They work to confuse. And that's what Satan's house does. That's exactly what his house is the master of illusion, the master of confusion. And at certain points through all of this, Lola, there have been moments where I was in a low vibration, headed toward my south node, not being or feeling very positive. And that's when they attack. And that's when they cause confusion. And that's when they use their words to try to make things look different than what they are. But I now understand, and I now know that pretty much everything they say to me is exactly the opposite of what's happening. They've shown me enough over these years now to be able to filter through their garbage and their confusion. So if you have somebody in your life that is always causing drama, confusion, upset, chaos, that's probably somebody that you want to remove from your energy. They are energy harvesting. They're stealing your joy. And these are the people that need to be removed out of our lives. And sometimes that's not an easy thing to do, because these people can be people who are our family, people who are close to us, people who we consider close friends. We just want to help. But you have to ask yourself, is helping them destroying you? What is it doing to you when you help this person? Does it exhaust you? Does it leave you feeling empty? Does that person ever help you back? I mean, there are obviously situations where people, you have friends, and, it ebbs and it flows, it goes up and it goes down, and you have good times and you have bad times. And that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is somebody in your life that never brings in anything good. They only bring drama to the table, chaos to the table. Those are the people that you need to remove from your energy. And those people have been my family, my so-called family. Mothers, brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles, the whole shebang, my entire family, my daughter. And holding to those boundaries, because I did go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth for so many years. And whenever I would remove myself, I would feel better in me. Hey, lol. But they would create situations on the outside of me. Oh, that would just never stop. Just never stop. Now that I've removed them from my energy and they know that I mean it and I'm holding my boundaries, they've started attacking spiritually, because that's the only way now that they can get to me, is through the spirit. But I'm not entertaining that either. As soon as I know that that person is in my energy, I cut it off. I won't talk to them. I won't listen to anything they have to say. And if they try to sneak in, my spirit guides and Father are letting me know that they're sneaking in, so I can end it. The Masons don't even try to be sneaky anymore, because they can't. This thing that happened in front of the Trump hotel in Vegas is something that I need to talk about with my guides and Father, because I think this is something significant. But I'm not sure. I don't have all of the information yet. But when I do have it, I will absolutely be back to talk about what it is. Jenny, I love that you and Robin had talked back and forth. That's awesome. You two are some of my strongest supporters, and I appreciate you, and I love you both very much for that. I'm going to go, but I'll be back, because there's definitely more to talk about. Never-ending amounts of stuff to talk about. Thank you, Robinette. All right, sweet girl. Have a wonderful day. Please love each other. Love yourselves even more, and I will catch you all soon. Bye.